Hello and welcome everyone on this official platform of Legacy IAS Academy. Imagine a vast, beautiful region tucked away in India's far northeast, which is rich in culture, nature, as well as history. But beneath this, a peaceful facade lies a ticking security time bomb. That is, a perfect storm is brewing here, which is fueled by coup next door, that is Myanmar, shadowy insurgents slipping across the porous borders, and superpowers and other economic powers, they are quietly tightening its grip. So as you can see here, the headlines: China's strategic encirclement, ex-Minister of State, External Affairs writes to Prime Minister on Northeast Security. जी हाँ, जिनका नाम है राजकुमार राजन सिंह. So let's try to understand this. So what if I told you that this remote corner of India is now at the center of high stakes of geopolitical chess game, which involves the Myanmar chaos, rising extremist threats from Bangladesh region, and also China's grand strategy to encircle India. Now the question is, how vulnerable is this region really? And what can be done before it becomes the next flashpoint? So in today's video, we will uncover the hidden layers of this complex crisis, and we are going to explore why it matters not just for India, but for global security, and also reveal the urgent call from a former top diplomat to India's Prime Minister. So stay tuned, because what happens here could change the entire South Asian security landscape forever. So what happened recently, है ना, as you can see here, so अभी हुआ क्या है, Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, as you can see him here, Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, he was a former Minister of State for External Affairs as well as MP from the inner Manipur region. He has written a letter to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and in that letter he has warned about the serious internal security threat in India's northeast. Why? Due to unstable situations in Myanmar as well as Bangladesh, and also growing influence of China in this region. तो सबसे पहले हम जो इशू डिस्कस करने वाले हैं, दैट इज म्यांमार इशू, है ना, कि म्यांमार का क्या इशू है ना. Now, since the military coup in Myanmar in 2021, है ना, military coup in Myanmar in 2021, armed ethnic groups like Arakan Army and Kachin Independence Army, they have become more aggressive in their fight for independence. Now, this is also affecting India's border states. कौन-कौन से border states? Like Mizoram, Manipur and Nagaland. जी हाँ, this is also affecting India's border states. See here Kachin, here Chin, है ना, here Arakan Army. So this is affecting the India's border states like Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, है ना. Now, अब अगर मैं आपको कुछ facts बताऊं, over 68,600 refugees from Myanmar and mostly Chin Kuki Zomi people from the Sagaing region as well as Chin state, they have entered in Manipur as well as Mizoram. Now these refugees are putting pressure on the local resources and also worsening the ethnic tension, especially in Manipur, which is already facing a crisis. Now, some Indian insurgent groups taking the advantage of this situation, taking the advantage of Myanmar's weak control over the border areas, they are operating from Myanmar to destabilize the northeastern India. So, the problems like cross-border rebel movement, arms smuggling, drug trade, human trafficking, these are increasing due to Myanmar's fragile governance. अब दूसरी सिचुएशन कहां पर है? बांग्लादेश, है ना. दूसरा इशू कौन सा है? बांग्लादेश का, which is also our neighborhood and connected with northeast India. ठीक है. Now, last year on 5th August 2024, Sheikh Hasina regime was ousted overthrown by a student-led protest, and then interim government was found under the leadership of Mohammad Yunus. And let me tell you, he was not an elected leader. है ना? So in Bangladesh, groups like Jamaat-e-Islami and Hujibi, that is Harkat-ul-Islami Bangladesh, they are seeing a resurgence. Now these groups pose a threat as militants and rebels. They have entered India in the past from Bangladesh, especially affecting the Assam, Meghalaya as well as Tripura, because these areas are the borderlands with Bangladesh, है ना, Meghalaya, Assam and Tripura, as you can see here, है ना. Now the current interim chief advisor of Bangladesh, that is Mohammad Yunus, he has also recently visited China, and during his visit कुछ ऐसा इन्होंने कहा जिसने पूरी हेडलाइंस बना दी. So during his visit he spoke about giving China access to the Indian Ocean region via Bangladesh, है ना, कि हम चाइना को इंडियन ओशन में एक्सेस देना चाहते हैं बांग्लादेश के थ्रू. That has raised a diplomatic concerns in India, है ना. Now his statement, Mohammad Yunus का जो statement था, his statement was seen as an invitation for China to increase its presence near the India's northeastern corridor or northeastern states. थर्ड इशू क्या है? अब चाइना के जो स्ट्रेटेजिक मूव्स हैं. जी हां, थर्ड इशू चाइना स्ट्रेटेजिक मूव्स. नाउ अब चाइना क्या कर रहा है? चाइना इज यूजिंग अ जियोपॉलिटिकल स्ट्रेटजी जिसको हम कहते हैं स्ट्रेटेजिक एनसर्कलमेंट. So China is using a geopolitical strategy which is called as strategic encirclement to surround India. जी हाँ, इंडिया को सराउंड करने के लिए. Now that is why China is building its influence in Myanmar region, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, है ना, through military, economically as well as diplomatic means. अब ये किस चीज का पार्ट है? This is a part of China's string of pearls. जी हाँ, this is a part of China's string of pearls, है ना. This is a part of China's string of pearls strategy, where China set up its ports, road as well as allies around India so that China can reduce India's strategic debt. Now लालमोनी हरद बेस जो बांग्लादेश ने ऑफर किया किसको? चाइना को, है ना. Now So Chinese presence in and around the northeastern region of India is a serious concern for India's security, है ना. तो ये तीन सबसे बड़े सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट है इंडिया के नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स के. Now what did राजकुमार राजन सिंह सजेस्ट? तो इन्होंने क्या सजेस्ट किया? He said that India urgently need a draft policy framework, है ना. इन्होंने क्या कहा? इंडिया नीड्स अ ड्राफ्ट पॉलिसी फ्रेमवर्क फॉर इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी, फॉर इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी. कैसे? समझिएगा, है ना. तो इन दिस ही हैज गिवन फॉर नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्पेशली, है ना, ये याद रखिएगा, नॉर्थ ईस्ट. सो इन दिस ही हैज गिवन 4 points. In this draft policy, he has given 4 points. First plan क्या है ना? First plan is deport all the undocumented immigrants and verify their identity, है ना, and also verify their identity documents of all citizens in the northeastern region. Second चीज इन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छी बोली, use all law enforcement agencies for this massive exercise. थर्ड थिंग इन्होंने कहा, मेंटेन अ वेरीफाइड डेटा बैंक ऑफ अ जेन्युइन इंडियन सिटीजंस इन दिस रीजन. एंड लास्ट इन्होंने एक चीज बोली, ब्रिंग ऑल इंसर्जेंट ग्रुप्स टू द नेगोशिएशन टेबल फॉर द पीस टॉक्स. एंड ही आल्सो स्ट्रेस्ड फॉर that there is a need for a strong diplomatic channel with Myanmar based on the mutual respect. Then टेकिंग द मीती वर्सेस चिन कुकी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जो चल रहा है, टेकिंग द मीती वर्सेस चिन कुकी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इन मणिपुर सीरियसली, गवर्नमेंट को इसको सीरियसली लेना चाहिए, स्पेशली रिगार्डिंग इलीगल इमिग्रेशन। सो ओवरऑल अगर हम चीजें देखें, द नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन इज फेसिंग द सीरियस रिस्क ड्यू टू म्यांमार इंस्टेबिलिटी, because in 2021 Myanmar military took over the government in a coup, and this caused ethnic armed group like Arakan Army and Kachin Independence Army to become more active in fighting for independence. Now ये जो ग्रुप है Kachin Independence Army, Arakan Army, so these groups operate near the India Myanmar border, especially affecting the Mizoram, Manipur as well as Nagaland. Because now let me tell you, because Myanmar's military cannot fully control the border areas, that is why Indian insurgent groups also use these borders, है ना, as a safe havens. So this leads to the more cross border violence, है ना, इससे क्या होगा, smuggling of arms, drugs, human trafficking, है ना, and the risk will be there in the northeast. एंड अभी जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया, ओवर 68,600 refugees from Myanmar, mainly from the ethnic groups like Chin, Kuki, Zumi, है ना, they have already fled into the Indian states, and that has creating the trouble for the local resources and worsening the ethnic tension, especially in Manipur area, है ना. Then बांग्लादेश से हमें क्या दिक्कत है, radical elements in Bangladesh. This is the serious issue, है ना, radical elements of Bangladesh. So Bangladesh has already seen the revival of the militant groups like Jamaat-e-Islami, Harkat-ul-Islami Bangladesh, है ना. So these groups have crossed into India before targeting these states, है ना. Before also these groups they have entered into India, and they have targeted these states like Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura. So their presence increases the chances of terrorism, then radicalization as well as communal tensions in India's northeast. Now furthermore, let me tell you that Bangladesh interim leader recently hinted at a closer ties with China, which has raised the concern that Bangladesh could allow China for the easier access near the Indian borders, and it can directly impact India's security. और तीसरा हमने अभी चैलेंज समझा, चाइनीज ग्रोइंग इन्फ्लुएंस, है ना. तो चाइना का जो इन्फ्लुएंस है वो काफी ज्यादा बढ़ रहा है, बिकॉज चाइना की एक जो स्ट्रेटजी है, स्ट्रिंग ऑफ पर्ल्स स्ट्रेटजी, है ना. चाइना वांट्स टू इंक्रीज इट्स इन्फ्लुएंस एंड रिस्ट्रिक्ट इंडियाज मूवमेंट इन द नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स. नाउ so by deepening ties with India's neighbor, China reduce India's strategic depth as well as ability to secure its own border. So this encirclement increases the risk of military threats as well as economic pressure and political influence in northeast India. So that is why Rajkumar Ranjan Singh ने, है ना, राजकुमार राजन सिंह ने क्या कहा, प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी को लेटर लिखा, है ना, and he wanted that government should take the urgent action to protect the northeastern security, identity as well as stability. Why? Because there is instability in Myanmar region, है ना, and Myanmar instability creates a security gaps as well as refugee crisis on the border areas. अब जो radical groups है ना, radical groups in Bangladesh, they can cross into India and they can cause unrest, and China अपना influence बढ़ाना चाहता है ना, जो इंडिया के लिए एक सबसे बड़ा concern है. So let me tell you that all these factors combined, they make northeast India more vulnerable to the conflict, instability as well as external influence. So overall, if we see, we have seen how Myanmar instability, radical elements in Bangladesh and China's creeping influence, these things are converging to threaten the fragile peace of India's northeast. But this is not just a local problem. It is a warning signal for the entire region and the world shifting power dynamics. Will India rise to the challenge and craft a bold new security strategy to safeguard its northeast region, or will this strategic encirclement tighten further, leaving region vulnerable to chaos and foreign dominance? So the clock is ticking and the decisions made now will echo for decades. So if you found this video, this insight eye-opening, So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe our channel Legacy IAS Academy, because understanding such hidden geopolitical battle is a key to grasping the future of global security. So share this video with your friends and start the conversation that what do you think that what India should do next. So let's dive deeper right here in our next episode. Thank you so much.